Hey witches, welcome back to another video. This is Starboy, the Cosmic Witch, and we're going to be doing our sort of reading into the sacred dates for Goddess Hekate, August 10th through 13th, and we're going to delve into some psychic information, and we're going to do a reading with the Star Spinner Tarot and pull a Starseed Oracle card as well. So first, let me just finish up a little bit of a ritual setup. I'm just going to be adding some of my Hekate ritual oil to this candle. If you guys want to order some of this, I just made some recently, another batch, and it is currently charging on Hekate's altar. There's a post on my channel you guys can look at and send me over an email or communicate with me through Instagram or Facebook to set up an order with me for the Hekate oil if you're interested in that. Let's go ahead and get into the psychic things I'm picking up. So I have been greatly feeling Goddess Hecate's energy is on the rise once again, specifically in her capacity as a cosmic soul or world soul once again. Just gonna get some Palo Santo burning. I hope you guys have all been well. There's so much craziness going on in the world right now. I've really just been kind of just detaching from everything with everything that's going on, especially here in the United States. Like, oh my gosh, are we living in a fucking hell dimension? Like, what is this? But yeah, I've been kind of just not really feeling creative, right? Anyway, lately, here in the past few months, I've been feeling Goddess Hecate's energy rising in the capacity as world soul, cosmic world soul, right? So what does that actually mean? Like, when I break it down, Goddess Hekate, if you guys recall, or if you already know through your own practice, is the world soul, the sort of fractalized cosmic world soul energy that is at once the collective and the consciousness of that collective energy. Like some people would call it like a thought form or an egregore, the gods. Others believe they're actually objective entities. Some think they're one and the same thing, I'm not going to get into breaking down that metaphysics, trying to explain what these things are, deeply in that way. But, suffice to say that the divine being that I relate to as Goddess Hekate, the cosmic soul, is the sort of one being in that sense, right? However, each of us, each created thing, has a spark of her energy, a piece. Our soul, basically, our spirit, is a piece of her own soul. So she's embodied in the physical world through all created things, including us. Our own higher self is her, embodied. At the same time, she is also the collective consciousness of the whole. So hopefully that's not too complex to understand. But basically, that's like the best way I could simplify it for you guys. I do highly recommend, if you're interested in learning more about Goddess Hekate in this context, that you will read the book Hekate Sotera by Sarah Johnston. Going further into this with what I'm sensing is a sort of awakening of this energy, the Hekate current, the world soul energy, and its capacity as the collective guiding consciousness of humanity. Because what Hekate does, the role that she serves, is as a mediator between the divine and the physical, between the all and the many, because she is both. She serves as that bridge. Sorry, I'm just taking a sip of coffee. It's like 3 a.m. right now, guys. So I'm like, I just woke up and I was like, I have to get this video recorded and put this message out. It's exactly 3 a.m. Sorry if that's like way overexposed. This is going to be a quite a long introduction slash psychic portion of this video, but basically I really have to go back in order to fully explain this to you guys. So starting back around in 2016 all the way through to now, Goddess Hekate, in her role as the world soul, the consciousness of the world soul, the guiding force of the world soul with a conscious will, has sort of like withdrawn. This all goes back to my Hecate's descent prophecies and oracles, right? So you could go watch those videos for the full breakdowns of all of that. But basically, before she descended, she told me that the world was going to go into chaos and evil forces were going to rise in her absence, right? Because of this void of her guiding presence descending and withdrawing. And that is exactly what has happened. Like, we are in the worst phase of this at this point, right? It's just been getting worse and worse and worse since then. And again, if you go watch my Hecate's Descent Oracle videos, you'll understand all of this in greater detail because I fully explain it all then. But basically, this is like a cyclical process of like a recharging for her. So at this point, what I'm feeling is her re-emergence into that role. Like, she's fully completed that recharging process. She's fully returned to the physical realm from the underworld dimension. She, more than that, is beginning to stir in her active capacity as the guiding principle once again, as the guiding consciousness once again. So you can kind of view this as like a macrocosm of the smaller scale, like what we go through in our personal journeys as like the dark night of the soul, things like that. And then coming into our own enlightenment, coming into our own higher consciousness at a greater like humanity level scale. You could view this process in the same way. To further elaborate, what I'm trying to say is like how the cells in our body are individual beings, but they make up our entire self and our consciousness. There's a similar reality to the world itself. Like, the collective humanity is like the cells, and the world soul is like the self-consciousness, right? But even that consciousness, even the world soul itself, has different layers of its consciousness. It has a lower self, a middle self, and a higher self. Hecate is the higher self of the world soul. It is the enlightened, conscious version of the world soul. So through this whole long process, what has been happening is Hecate descended, she came back, and she's been going through these heightening levels of her own self-awareness embodied into her world soul presence. What I'm sensing now is she's now entering fully into that higher consciousness of her own reality self again. And what that means is that she will begin to basically act as the guiding force once again. So if you guys will think back to prior to 2016, the world felt like it was on a progressive energy flow. There was a sense of collective soul and spirit guiding a sense of progress towards the highest good, right? That was Hecate's energy. That was her world soul expressing through all of the many different fractalized forms in a unified way, because she was here guiding that energy. That's her function. She serves the higher will and manifests it into reality. She's not the ultimate source. That would be like what you would call source or God, but she's the mediating, she's like the active will force, basically. her presence guides. So you can look at my previous video on Goddess Hekate and how she rules fate for my previous like full breakdown of all of that process. But basically, she guides the world by inspiration, by musing to people collectively and individually. And this information comes through in the way that people express. It can come through art, it can come through media, it can come through cultural moments and events. It comes through people who are attuned to her energy within themselves. And it's all like this fractalized holographic consciousness and understanding, right? When you're aligned with Hecate within yourself, by whatever name you call the world soul, then you're aligned with the greater current. It's not a one-way street. It's also vice versa. Your alignment with this energy allows it to express itself through you, right? So there's a, like I say, like a holographic fractalized essence to all of this. Again, we are not separate from her, and she's not separate from us. So what's happening now, what I've been feeling in the past few months especially, is the sort of a re-emergence, once again, of this energy of the world soul and the capacity of the guiding force, once again, because she's ascended now to her highest consciousness completely. And people are greatly involved in this process. Like, again, what I'm saying, it's all interconnected. What is happening, to describe the mechanism there, is all of this darkness that we've been going through, all of the hate, the divisiveness, everything since 2016 that has just escalated, the social media algorithms amplifying division and things like that, all of the political extremism with the far right and authoritarianism, hate mongering, fear mongering, all of that divisiveness is like the collective shadow. Like, again, what I was saying, this is like a collective dark night of the soul. This is the deep shadow work of the planet itself, of Hecate herself facing the shadow. And also, again, mirrored, as above so below, us ourselves facing that collective shadow. So that's what we've been experiencing. All of this darkness, all of this crazy evil shit that's going on in the world, that's exactly what this is. It is the collective shadow. And then if you want to view it like archetypally and spiritually, you could view this as, you know, Hecate's dark night of her own soul and of the world soul itself, right? So I kind of view all of this through an integrative lens. Like I say, I can see it spiritually, relationally as cosmic beings, and I can see it psychologically as like a collective conscious type thing. I think it's all one and the same and interconnected, like I say. Why? Because at the end of the day, you know, what is it? It's just the lens of human perception interpreting what we experience through different lenses. So it doesn't matter what terminology you use. Ultimately, what matters is what you're describing, right? That's how I view it anyway, and that's how I approach these things. Let's talk about what this means going forward. What I'm sensing is going to be happening now with this greater emergence of Hecate in her capacity as world soul, as guiding principle, guiding force, sort of reclaiming her essence and power of this world. Now is when we will begin to see the shifts start to stir and emerge. And that's what I was starting to get at before. Sorry, I got so sidetracked. But like I said, this is a lot to try to describe. I know what I'm feeling, but it's like, where are you at? You know what I mean? Like, how do I describe this publicly on a YouTube video so everyone can understand it wherever they're at their level of understanding and their spiritual journey? It's a lot to try to describe. This is what I was getting at. With all of the darkness and the collective shadow that we've all been facing, what that ends up doing, like the dark night of the soul, it creates a sort of mechanism by which the light emerges. When we face our shadow, when we go through the dark night of the soul, what ends up happening? The dark night of the soul is facing the shadow. It is the deepest level of shadow work. And on the other side of that, you reach your gnosis, you reach your enlightenment. you find God within, because you have no choice but to face it during this phase. And like, again, what happens? You awaken into your higher consciousness. You awaken into your own higher consciousness by facing this darkness. And more than that, by realizing your own active role in abolishing it or integrating it or healing it. Whatever it is, it's different for every single thing. In other words, you just awaken to your own active capacity and inner authority and power on the other side of this. So that is exactly what's happening, once again, at the macrocosmic level of the collective conscious. The world soul itself is emerging through the other side of the shadow work. And it's regaining its active power, which is Hekate as world soul. That is exactly what's happening. And again, I feel like this has been emerging within the past few months. Now, I'm sorry I keep backtracking here, but another thing I want to kind of explain a little bit more, how this is emerging at the collective scale. What's happening is individual people are waking up to their God self by facing so much shadow over the past 9 years. It's causing an awakening in people themselves. The wounded heart becomes the healer. We're oppressed by so much darkness, so much darkness, so much darkness, until we ourselves say, you know what, this is enough. We're going to change things. We're going to address this and face it directly. That is the emergence of your own divinity right there. You're no longer waiting on some exoteric force to save you, so to speak. You're not waiting for the evil to stop on its own. What happens is you take the active role, and that is exactly what allows the divine to start to express itself through you. It's all about awakening to that higher consciousness. So this can go unnamed. This does not have to happen in a spiritual lens. It can just all happen psychologically. Okay, again, that's why I address it from both angles. But that is what's happening at the collective level. We are being inundated with so much evil and so much darkness that it is causing people to awaken to their power, to face these things. And it is precisely that reality that is in turn awakening the world soul itself at a collective level back into its full power. Why? Because we are individuated fractals of the world soul itself, once again. So as we collectively awaken, it brings a greater stabilization to the field itself, to the world soul itself field. And that collective energy becomes and allows Hecate's higher self to emerge as the world soul as well. You see how that all works? In other words, you could view it like this. The collective grief, the collective suffering and pain, and then willingness to face that darkness is like love itself being reborn into the world through people. It's like the sigil of the burning heart, which is why I took that as my sigil lately. The wound is the place where the light enters, because the pain becomes so deep that you have no choice but to face it. You have to become the light yourself. And that's exactly what's happening in people. Once again, whether you describe this spiritually or psychologically, whether they're even aware of what's happening, it doesn't matter. It is what's happening at a collective level. So many people are becoming the light because the situation demands it. And so in this way, it's like darkness plants the seeds of its own destruction. It makes the emergence of the light inevitable because the reality just demands it to be addressed. So that's where we are right now. That's what's unfolding. That's what's been unfolding since 2016 to now. Now we are in the emerging phase of the world soul's higher consciousness. It's awakening in individual people, and from the collective of those individual people awakening, it's further pushing the world soul itself to awaken. You can view it as like a critical mass or a tipping point. That is where we are right now. We're on that precipice. I would even argue we're kind of a little bit past it at this point, because I can feel the world soul itself stirring as a collective force. I've been seeing it awakening in people as the fractalized forms. That is good, and that's something of its own. But now I'm feeling the actual collective energy form into its own consciousness, its own current once again. And to me, that's what Hecate is as World Soul. So I kind of view like the whole past 9 years as though she has been in a death-like slumber, because she's been sort of stuck in this individuated form, fractalized in many different people. But now her collective, or I should say now our collective awakening and embodying of this energy has led to her beginning to stir as a collective force once again. So that's where I feel we're at psychically. We are in this emerging phase. What can you expect going forward with this? You will see that this energy will continue to grow now that it has sort of come to a collective conscious level. It can almost become like a feedback loop, because now that she's in her active role again, she will start to further spread her influence into people. Again, you can watch my video on Goddess Hecate, how she rules fate, for further, breakdown of that. But basically, she'll be inspiring people. Now that she's in her higher consciousness again, she's going to be inspiring people more and more and more. And as that happens, more people begin to embody her energy and attune to her. And as they do that, her conscious collective grows more. So it becomes, like I say, a feedback loop of self-sustaining, and further than self-sustaining, self-propagating energy. So that's where we are. That's what we can expect going forward. In like practical terms, or like predictions terms, what you will see is more and more expression of this process and energy. You will see it happening, I don't know, blatantly. You will see it happening symbolically. So this means like in different music and media and art that's emerging going forward. You will see this message encoded within that. Because where does the inspiration come from? From Hecate, from the world soul. I'm not saying it's going to appear in everything, but it will appear, and you will notice it. So what this is it is the return of that collective sense of progress once again. Like I was saying, that was here prior to 2016. You could feel that there was a sense of progress in the world, which was Hecate's guidance encoded in humanity through the world soul. We're going to be seeing that returning. I would say you would probably see this in rising political figures as well, who are embodying this energy and attuned with it. Things like that. And I'm sure as well you will just feel this. Many of you probably already are feeling this. But you will continue to feel it grow and expand. You will feel her presence growing stronger and stronger in your practice, in your own life, within yourself, and mirrored in the reality around you. Leave me a comment if you've been feeling this emergence and stirring of the world soul once again. And other aspects, for those who are like very spiritually attuned with this energy, you will be getting more communications coming through your dreams, psychic messages and downloads and insights and things like that. All of that will begin to rise again, becoming more frequent, more strong. You will be getting inspired with messages, once again, whether that is spiritual messages or creative energy, it comes through both forms. So like I say, keep an eye out for these motifs and the things that you're seeing. You'll be seeing symbolic motifs of the goddess reawakening, of people emerging from this collective grief into an active role of being the light themselves, right? And all of that coalesces into the emerging light of the planet. So with all of that said, let me see if anything else. Like I say, I know this is a very long intro or psychic part of the reading, but I really feel like all of that needed to be said and explained, especially for like newer viewers who haven't been here for years with me. Yeah, I think that's going to about cover it for like the psychic portion of this. Now let's go ahead and get into the cards. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Star Spinner Tarot. Let's get these out. Now I align myself with the Most High God and the Holy Spirit Hekate. Please communicate the truth to me through these cards so that I may be guided for the highest good of all. Thank you, and smother me. Please give us your divine guidance for this time of emergence. Is there anything else that we need to know or do or be aware of for our highest good, greatest success and joy? Please give us your divine guidance now. Thank you, and smother me. Major chills ran through me with that one, guys. This energy is getting so much stronger. We have one of my favorite cards in this deck, the King of Coins. So this energy is all about practicality, pragmatism, the essence of the deal and bargaining, making sure everyone gets what they need out of situations. It's very fair, political energy. It's nurturing and grounded energy. A very good king and fatherly energy. It's the energy that emerges from open communication and dialogue. Next, we have the Chariot. This is a very powerful archetype of self-mastery, self-direction. The charioteer is driving the chariot consciously, willfully, purposefully. I love that it's the two little cats there. So cute. So in a way, this is about self-discipline, self-knowledge, self-discovery, in order to then act with that energy, with that presence. And the final card is the Princess of Coins. So this is an energy of like studying, understanding something deeply. So you can see where she is like studiously examining this coin. It's about looking at the details, understanding something, and it's also about practical energy, once again. So it kind of mirrors with the King of Coins there. So when I'm seeing all of this together, it's like almost like a collective discussion is happening. Just almost like a self-organizing power with the King of Coins. That political energy, pragmatic energy, bargaining energy, making sure everyone gets what they need. That's like self-organizing. Then we have the Chariot taking that active role, being the driving force of yourself, of your life. And the Princess of Coins, knowing something deeply, studying it, understanding it. These two could go really hand in hand together with the self-knowledge of the Chariot and the studious understanding of the Princess of Coins, and also putting it to practical use. The Princess of Coins is practical energy. How can you use it in the day-to-day? What is like the simple techniques and methods and expressions of these energies? So we sort of have like the collective scale with the greater mass of people. With the King of Coins, we have the sort of self energy with these two cards. So the overall message I'm getting is, how can you embody this energy yourself going forward? What can you do to help the collective? What do you have to offer, and what do you need? This could be with the people directly around you. This could be with the world at large. This could be with your political situations and affiliations, your relationships, things like that. It manifests at every level in different scales. So you're being asked to step into your fullness, right? Your self-directed energy, to understand your place in relation with others, with the collective, and to see, what can you practically do with your presence, with yourself, with what you have to offer, with your light, basically. And also, what do you need? And how can you communicate that clearly too? So maybe, you're getting some ideas of what you can do creatively or expressively, or maybe you're getting ideas on what you could do practically, things like that, to help propagate this light back into the world. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull a Starseed Oracle card. Now I align myself with the starseeds, the fairies, the angels, and all you beings of light in the cosmos. Please communicate the truth to me through these cards so that I may be guided for the highest good of all. Thank you. And Serenity. Right now I'm just being told, do not underestimate your power. Do not underestimate the effect that you have on these realities and on the greater whole. Like I was saying before, we are each a fractalized piece of the world soul, and your own awakening, your own efforts do contribute, no matter how small you think they are. That's kind of what I'm seeing here now, getting the message here now as well, coming through. You might think that what you're doing is mundane and small, but it's not. If you do it with intention, if you do it with authenticity, it has great power beyond what you even think or imagine that it does, because it's contributing to this greater manifestation of the world soul itself, reestablishing itself into the timeline. Okay, let's see what starseed card we get now. Now I call it to you, starseeds, fairies, angels, and all you beings of light in the cosmos. Please give me the truth now through these cards. Is there anything else that we need to know, do, or be aware of at this time for our highest good, greatest success and joy? Please give me divine guidance now. Thank you. So be it done. Look what we have here. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. What a beautiful confirmation. That's exactly right. I mean, do I even need to break this card down? That's literally exactly right. A new earth is being born right now. The world soul is being reborn right now. It is happening. Keep holding the vision. That's very interesting that these words show up, keep holding the vision, because I will show you guys a spell incantation that I wrote last night describing all of this process that I'm sharing now. Like everything that I've shared in this reading psychically, I wrote in a spell form last night when I was channeling Hekate within her sacred dates and channeling these messages. It's so interesting how that works. And well, it doesn't really surprise me anymore, but it's just confirmation and synchronicity, right? But I'll go ahead and read from the book. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and a radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to have faith. You chose to be here, to be part of this global shift, Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering in a new age and times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working toward for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep. For if you do, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've so carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. Starseed Soul Inquiry. How can you keep holding the vision? So there you go, guys. I mean, is that not a perfect card for this? Especially, considering, like I was saying, this has been an ongoing dark night of the soul since 2016 to now. It's been like 9 years of this, which 9 is also the number of completion, right? Spiritual initiation in some sense. This has been a long time coming. This has been very challenging to go through, the collective scale on an individual scale. But we are reaching the other side of this. This light is being born in people once again. And through that, it is being born collectively once again as well. So I'll just leave you to meditate with these cards for a moment. Reflect on, what you can do, how you can participate in this emergence, even at the smallest level, in the mundane sense, in the practical sense, and spiritually, how can you contribute to this emergence through your meditations, through your rituals, through your invocations. And I will share the incantation that I wrote for this emergence as well. And maybe that'll be something that you all would like to use in your practice and participate in with me this Hekate night. Okay, so I will go ahead and read this spell to you guys. I call this Hekate Resurrection Spell for World Soul Restoration. Broken hearts revived by pain, stir the goddess soul again. Shattered hearts now reborn, wake again the goddess form. Weave her soul across the globe, let her wear it as her robe. Fractal form, fragmented spark, joined as one by witches' art. Charming chanted incantation, calls Hekate by invocation. World soul come, born anew, forged by many, known by few. Guiding star, disarm the night, so what is left is all that's right. Spirit made flesh by secret spell, potent force that rides the gale. Sacred spring of heaven's muse, the earth now swallows all abuse. Transformed by flame of burning heart, now stitch and mend each broken part. From the chaos, wholeness is shored, as her power is now restored. Banish the aeon of despair, as my vocation now declares. Hekate return to reign, guard this planet once again. Vanquish evil in your sight, as darkness flees from dawning light. Truth reveals your divine plan. The promised time is now at hand. Every demon now dismiss, then seal the gates of hell's abyss. Toll the bell on evil's hour, turn to naught before your power. Rise to seat your regal throne, cosmic queen and goddess lone. Let none oppose your crowning station, brought to heel by revelation. Thou art one and thou art all, every soul is yours to call. Yours is ocean, sky, and land, and every creature you command. Yours the cosmos and the earth, every death and every birth. All existence is your claim, held within your loving dream. So let us not forget your heart, Hekate of witching art, as we recall your burning light, as we compose you in our sight. Awaken now, reclaim your glory, weave again your goddess story, as your will for highest good into our hearts becomes imbued. Healing ether from you flows, and all the world your presence grows. Many voices join together to speak your truth through stormy weather. That call to love won't be denied, as it exposes every lie. As fire purifies the night, your torches burn forever bright. Undo all evils in your wake, and every evil spell they spake. Reverse even time's hard edge, make every wicked path untread. Restore the present to its peace, as all that's past is now released. And by my truth enchanted spell, and words of power that I tell, Hecate, fulfill your role, as prophecy restores your soul, as we enjoined become your flesh, wholly weaved upon our web. What has slumbered now awakes, as every secret binding breaks. Cut the cords of evil's web, leave their empty spirits dead. Only life aligned is live, what only takes may never thrive. Renounce the wicked in their homes, make them fade to withered bones. Never again shall they have power, as what is void itself devours. And in its place an act of mercy, that if thee change, it shall not curse thee. But if thy darkness clings to death, then let it take your every breath. Your every poison turns on you, because you can't escape what's true. As above, so below. What you reap is what you sow. As Hecate sits, now enthroned, let her judge to each their own, to cleanse this world forevermore. She of light we all adore. Seal my spell by sacred art. Once it's cast, won't come apart, nor turn back upon its path. This sacred truth forever lasts. Power cosmic now fulfill, so be it done, so as I will. So there you go, guys. I will also post this spell in the post section of my channel if you guys want to take a look at that or just copy it for your private use. I also, recently wrote another spell along the same lines. I just called it the Spell of Return. That's already in my post, so you guys can go look at that as well. But yeah, I've been feeling this energy, and I've been inspired to, write again with it. Hopefully you all enjoy that and, do with it what you will in your own practice. But yeah, a lot of the wordings I've been using lately in that spell and also in the Spell of Return that I also posted recently is about sort of recomposing Hecate through our own vision, right? Or I just realized you can kind of see the candle geometry through that. That's kind of cool. But yeah, a lot of what I've been writing lately has been about recomposing the world soul through clearly seeing it, through our vision, seeing it in ourselves and seeing it in the world, holding the vision. So I thought that was very interesting how this card said that. Keep holding the vision, right? It's so interesting how that, was mirrored here in this reading. But yeah, with that said, guys, that's going to be all for this reading. This is going to be a very long reading, and I'm going to have to, get those edited and posted timely. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I hope that you all have a magical, wonderful, Hecate festival celebration from the past few days. And I hope that you all can also really feel this emergence. And leave me comments down below, what are you sensing with all of this? Have you been feeling it, etc.? And I will see you guys in the next videos. As always, until next time, hail Hecate, hail to the witches, and blessed be. Bye, guys. Love you.